Epicurus and the Pleasant Life, the philosophy of ancient Greece applied in modern life, by Haris Demetriadis, author of the book by the same title. Epicurus, a learned man fascinated by one thing above all other pursuits: happiness. Far from the posturing of some of his fellow philosophers, the philosophy of Epicurus serves as a practical guide for the average Joe to live a happy life. But before we jump in, we need to ask ourselves a tough question. What is happiness? Is happiness a result of knowledge and thought, as Plato argues? Or is it about virtue and reason, as Aristotle declares? Maybe it's about living ascetically and patiently, as the Stoics whisper. Or about obeying God and being moral, as religions preach. We've all heard this before. There's also social justice, patriotism, career success, materialism and consumption, wealth, fame, and power, the proverbial sex, drugs, and rock and roll. But let me ask you, if you subscribe to one of these, are you happy? Because according to Epicurus, it is about none of these things. Instead, happiness is about feeling good, living a fulfilling life, and having fun. Don't rely too heavily on logic either. We're terrible about guessing what will make us happy. Sometimes we get what we wish for and end up just as lost as ever. Nature itself teaches us that pleasure is the highest achievement in life. Pleasure is our innate guide to be healthy and at peace with the world. Nature and Epicurus alike exhort us to follow what is pleasant and avoid whatever brings us pain. But wait! Not all pleasure is affordable or even necessary to finding happiness. Sometimes we may even submit ourselves to pain for a while if we expect greater pleasure to follow. Epicurus says it's enough to satisfy our natural human needs, such as food, shelter, health, safety, friendship, and spirituality. Beyond that, we can find the little things that will make a difference on our own. Music, traveling, sports, the arts, nature, and so on. All these pleasures are affordable in moderation. There's no reason to go after groundless pleasures such as luxuries, wealth, fame, costly pleasures that require an excessive amount of energy and effort to obtain and hold on to. Happiness is a mental state. By our nature, we are all capable of achieving it, if we satisfy our basic needs, recognize our limitations, and heed the environment. So many of us today are unhappy and anxious. But why? We have more than the generations before us, and technology has simplified our lives. This is because of societal influences. We experience groundless, useless fears. But here's the good news. We can transform our lives into happy ones by rejecting these influences, tuning into our inner selves, and following our individual desires. When we exercise our free will and follow pleasure, choosing intelligently, being self-sufficient, and remaining optimistic, we can enjoy a simple, pleasant life in the company of friends with health and peace of mind. Come with me on a journey into the philosophy of Epicurus as we explore the quest for happiness.